Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel yours truly G, and in this video we're gonna cover about some important questions and last minute tips for your upcoming Central Bank of India Specialist Officer examination. And those who are watching this video for the first time, I would just wanted to give you information like we have already covered top 50 questions with their concepts related to your upcoming Central Bank of India examination. So please go and watch that series because we have covered a lot of questions, important and standard previous year questions with their concepts, and that will definitely boost your confidence and marks in your upcoming Central Bank of India Specialist Officer examination. So in this video, we have covered few important questions. And these questions are not only from the information and security, but it is from entire information technology syllabus, which is database, operating systems, programmings, and software engineering as well. So again, I am telling you, those who have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe the channel, share with your friend, and write your feedback as well. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the questions and the tips for that. Yeah, so before discussing the question, I just wanted to again elaborate some of the important information and the tips for the Central Bank of India examination, which is going to be held on 21st of December 2019. So as we already know that the syllabus is basically comprised of three topics. One is your professional knowledge questions that will be of 60 marks, and the 60 questions will be there. Computer knowledge, 20 questions, 20 marks, and the banking and general awareness, 20 questions and 20 marks. So again, that is very, as compared to your IT officer examination and other, nationalized bank IT officer examination, the syllabus is, seems to be quite easy because, there is no any, as I told, apti reasoning and English is not present, so it's very easy for you guys. The syllabus is looking easy, but again, if the syllabus is easy, it's easy for everyone. So you have to tackle all those questions very smartly. Okay, so here negative marking is also there, so you have to be very much concentrate on all the questions. Just try to read the question very carefully and analyze the options, because as I told, you have to play with the options. You can easily neglect some of the option and choose the correct answer for that. And in many comment section of my videos, many candidates were asking how to prepare for computer knowledge and banking awareness. So that's why I have just created just not a video for that, some syllabus what we have to study for that. So I'm not going to here advertising any channel or something like that, but you can download any capsule, something like that, of any website, maybe Adda or Grade Up, anything. So the basic syllabus that would comprise of 62 or 63 pages will be there, so these are more than sufficient. And still, 2 days are left. You can easily go through those points because you are already, you are coming from a technical background. So for covering those topics, it's not a big deal for you, it's a cakewalk for you guys. So just cover these important topics, that's why I have mentioned here. So let's discuss each and every topic, what you have to cover in quickly for a quick revision basically. So as we know, that's a 20 marks. So first of all, you have to cover the generation of computer, the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and what are the devices which we have discovered in every generation. And what are the languages generated, what are the languages developed in each and every generation. That is a very important question, and frequently asked question from the generation of computer. So what you have to study here in generation of computer, like first, second, third, and fourth generation, languages associated with that, what are the devices associated with that, all those things you have to cover in generation of computer. Then our most important topic is example of supercomputers. They will ask some basic example, what is, which of the following is the supercomputer, which of the following is the first supercomputer, or which of the following is the supercomputer made by CAD or something like that organization. So such type of things you have to cover in a very smart way and quick way. That's why I have written it's just a topic for quick revision. You have to cover it because they will not ask in depth, because you are you guys are technical, you are having a technical knowledge, so they will ask ask just a basic things like, and one more important thing like keyboards, functional keys, toggle keys, and modifier keys, shortcuts, and all those things. Like they can ask what is, in which of the following are the functional key, or which of the four option belongs to toggle key, something like that. You have to aware, you have the awareness about the keyboards, various keys basically. So I know it's like a tedious job for you guys, especially those who have, yeah, engineers and then. So for you guys to cover keyboard keys looking like something different, but again you have to cover it because it's a 20 marks question, and it's easily you can cover it and easily you can score it basically. And again, a different hardware and software components, like many a times they have asked like what are the different type of printers, dot printers, drumstick printers, something like that. You have to cover that. Then different MICR, optical code recognition, OMR, all those things, full form, and the basic function regarding this. You have to just go through that for the quick revision. Operating system is also very important. Nowadays they are asking different version of operating system like Windows, Linux, Unix, all those operating system. You have to just go through all those features associated with that. What are the different versions, a release, something like that you have to cover. Okay, and the types of programming language, this is very 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 important. Actually, they have asked many a times like what is low level language, high level language. They will give four option, and you have to choose which of the following is a high level language, which of the following is a low level language. C or C plus plus is a level language, or a high level language, or a machine language. They can ask anything. You have to just go through what is COBOL, what is Pascal, what is Smalltalk, Ruby, .NET. These all are the latest programming language that has been released. Many a times they have asked like, which of the following is a object oriented language, object oriented programming approach. So such type of things you have to cover in a very smart way and very quick way, because the time is very less. That's why I'm just mentioning the topics. And memory is very very important. As you can see, I have marked 6 to 7 stars, because RAM, ROM, volatile, non-volatile, dynamic RAM, static RAM, EEPROM, double EEPROM, erasable program, read-only memory, double electrically erasable program, read-only memory, cache memory. A lot of questions, they used to generate from this memory section. So you have to give a special attention to this memory section, because this is a very important topic in computer knowledge. Okay, because you are a technical guy, so they can expect this type of questions, like what are the different languages, low level language, high level language, assembler, such type of questions already asked. What is machine language, what is the role of assembler, such type of questions they will ask. Again, memory is very important. You have to pay attention, special attention on the memory part especially. And again, I told, if they want to check your memory skill or something like that, so MS Word, MS Excel, and PowerPoint presentation, all the shortcuts, not all the basic, and you can see the basic commands is common in all the three, like how to open the file, how to close the file, how to open the new page, how to save the page, something like that they will ask. So if you solve 20 to 30 question, you will have an idea like what are the important questions related to the shortcuts of MS Word, MS Excel, and PowerPoint. So that's why I have mentioned that just go through all these topics. These all are the important topics related to the computer network. Don't read unnecessary stuffs, because you have a limited time and you have a limited memory as well. So just try to just go through all these topics that I have mentioned here, note it down, take the screenshot, and just cover in a very short duration, because only you have 2 days left and you have to cover. So don't worry about that, because it's a basic thing. If you just read, you should just go through all the points. You will have you will get all those things in the examination. Don't worry about that. And now moving to the next 20 marks, which is nothing but the banking awareness and current affairs. So what I wanted to tell you guys, based on the experiences and all those things. So first of all, you have to, again, for that, you have to download the capsule for that, and try to focus on the current affairs part, okay? Because they will not going to ask you a typical or, in depth question related to the banking industries, because they know that you are just going to, support, or they are just, you are going to handle the information technology, especially the security portion, risk management portion. So they will definitely, the main concern will be your current affairs part, and the current affairs, not all current affairs related to the banking industries. So that you have to pay a special attention, like how many, what are the different, you know, yojana and plans that has been recently released by government of India. What are the steps or any strict action taken by RBI? What are the different schemes that has been launched by government of India? Such type of things they will ask. And if in the static part, if they will ask any static part as well, like what is the currency of any state or something, what is the capital of any state, that static part they will definitely cover from the current part only. Suppose PM Modi has visited any country, so that will be a important country for your upcoming examination. You have to remember the country capital, their currencies, and the basic things you have to remember this. So again, the time is less. What I'm going to suggest you is that just download the capsule and just try to mug all those important stuff, not every stuff, because you have, I think political stuff is not important for your bank examination. Try to skip that because your time is limited. And those who are preparing from the last 2 months, then they can revise all those things because they have already covered each and everything from the last 2 months. But those who have a very limited time, I would suggest you to don't cover political things and all those stuff. And just focus on the banking related stuffs. The scheme is very important. What are the schemes? uh, you know any news related to the banks, maybe a private bank or a nationalized bank, any bank is pay special attention on NABARD. These all are the organization body who is controlling body in the field of agriculture, and small banks pay attention to RRB something, regional rural bank, NABARD, SEBI. Any scheme or any migration has been done with the banks, that is very important. CEOs are very important. What are the different, the new appointed CEO or CFO for different banks, private banks like ICICI, SDFC, all those CEO, CFO, their scheme, their rates that has been recently released, like RBI used to release different rates, so that you have to just go through all those rates. Not all the rates, but basically the RBI rates is very important, and the loans provided by the World Bank, Asian Development Bank. These all are very prime focus question nowadays related to the banking awareness. So all those things you have to remember. You have to complete in a very smart way. That's why I am telling you, you have to complete in a very smart way. Time is very less. Go through those capsules and try to remember those schemes, particularly all those things related to the banking industry as a whole. You can see some insurance part as well, like news related to LIC, or some any other organization, banking organization and insurance organizations as well. Pay special attention on agriculture scheme. uh, you know some agriculture scheme nowadays are very popular. So that's why I have just created one slide for you guys, because I was just going through the comments, and you guys are just writing how to revise a computer, or how to cover those computer part and banking awareness part. So it's all up to you how you are covering all those topic in a smart way. So that's all depends on you. It's your its time is limited. Download the capsule and go through all those things, but pay special attention in computer section. These points are very important, as I already told. And for banking awareness, try to cover the current affairs and few static points related to the current affairs, and just try to be focus on the banking awareness, banking related current affairs. Okay, so let's move to the our IT domain questions. Let's move to our questions related to the information technology. And as I told in this video, we are going to cover the question not only for the information security and the computer network part, but all other topics as well. So let's discuss each and everything. So our first question is, which of the following protocol used to prevent the looping? This is very important topic, and this is very important question. And I think we have covered one same question related to spanning tree in the previous, I think, videos as well somewhere. So you have to understand it, because you have to just, as I told, you have the ability, you should have to develop this ability to neglect the wrong answer and choose the correct option from the options. Okay, so first is OSPF, open shortest path first. Second is spanning tree. Third is SRB, and fourth is fragment free switching. See this. So you have to understand it. These two protocols are very important, so that's why I mentioned 2 points. So again, I am telling you, if you are seeing any question related to which protocol will prevent or eliminate the looping, by which with the help of which protocol we can eliminate the looping, you just close your eyes and type mark the correct answer as spanning tree. Spanning tree is used, the basic and the most important the advantage of spanning tree is it will eliminate the looping functionality. Okay, so how you will eliminate the looping? Just use the spanning tree protocol. Okay, so that's why I have written spanning tree protocol is a network protocol that builds a logical loop-free topology. If you want to build a logical loop-free topology, or if you want to prevent the looping, you have to use the spanning tree protocol. Okay, and just one point for OSPF, because we have to understand the concept as well, because answer is not important. Open shortest path first is a routing protocol. Okay, you can see that it's a spanning tree is a network protocol, but here is a routing protocol of internet protocol, IP. It's related to the IP network. Okay, it's nothing related with the looping structures. And OSPF is a link layer protocol. It's a second layer protocol. While discussing those 7 layers, I have already mentioned OSPF in that layer, and I told that this is very important question, and they have asked many times like OSPF is related to which protocol, or OSPF is the protocol of which layer. So that you have to remember it. So what we have to note it down from this question, first of all, what is OSPF? In which layer? What is the protocol of OSPF? OSPF is the protocol of which layer, which is nothing but the second layer, data link layer. What is spanning tree, and what is the major advantage of using the spanning tree? Those 2 to 3 points we have to remember it. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. So the next question is, moving process from main memory to the disk is called. This is also a very important question, and it is related to the operating system. So let's discuss what are the options: caching, termination, swapping, and interruption. So the correct answer would be swapping. Swapping is nothing but, if you want to move the process from main memory to disk in order to free your space, and this is a very useful technique, okay, to implement a large memory in your system, basically by doing the swapping. Many a times, they will ask the definition of swapping. What is swapping? So I have written that swapping is useful technique that enables a computer to execute program and manipulate data files larger than the main memory. With the help of swapping, you can execute the programs and data files with the memory available in your memory with the larger than the available memory. That is the main benefit of the swapping, because swapping is what swapping is doing basically. Swapping is moving your processes from the main memory to the disk, so that there will be some free space, and with that free space we can manipulate or we can execute large number of program, in fact the larger than the available space in our main memory. So that is basically, so swapping is used for the memory management, very important term in operating systems. Okay, swapping, page fault, a lot of there are terminology associated with the operating system and asked many number of times. So you have to remember what is swapping. That's why I've written the definitions as well. Okay, let's move to the next question. So the next question is, which page replacement policy suffers from Pleiades anomaly? This is also very, very, very important questions. Pleiades anomaly asked many a times, and they will ask simple question like Pleiades anomaly is associated with algorithm. Which page replacement policy? Such type of question they used to frame it. So I think now you will not forget this question. Pleiades anomaly is related to first in, first out, FIFO. Okay, so let's discuss the few points related to this. Okay, so increasing the number of pages, page frame result in an increase in number of page fault. Okay, that we know that. Okay, if you increase the number of page frames, so what will happen is page fault will increase. So you have to understand it. What is page fault? So page fault is nothing but, it's if you want to access that page and that page is not currently available in the main memory, this is nothing but a page fault. If I want to access any page, and if that page is not available in our main memory, I will call it is a page fault. That is known as page fault. Many a time page fault has been asked in many competitive examination. What is page fault? So I think page fault is pretty much clear to you guys. Page fault is nothing but if you are trying to access any page and that page is not available in the main memory currently, this is your page fault. So again, I am telling you what is Pleiades anomaly. Pleiades anomaly is if you increase the number of page from result in increase the number of page fault. That is the basic definition of Pleiades anomaly. So many a times definition will ask, and so many times they have already asked Pleiades anomaly is associated with which replacement policy. So the correct answer will be FIFO, first in, first out. So Pleiades anomaly is associated with first in, first out. Increasing the, and what is Pleiades anomaly? Increasing the number of page frame result in increase the number of page fault. If you increase the page frames, okay, if in simple you can say that if I will increase the page frame, this will result in page fault, and that is a disadvantage because page fault is not a good thing, because if I am trying to access any page and that page is not available in the memory, so that is a fault for me. So if you are increasing the page frame, page fault will increase. Okay, so I hope all these three questions are very important. Just go through all those concepts again. If you are not preparing the notes, at least just go through 2 to 3 times, because these all are very important questions actually. I'm not taking any random questions, as I already told many a time. So let's move to the next slide. Yeah. So this question is, I think by looking into the question, you have an idea like this question is related to software engineering. So let's discuss this question. So the question is, which level is called defined in capability maturity model CMM? And while discussing, I think we have covered two videos related to software engineering. And in first video, I remember, I believe we have already covered CMM, capability maturity model, in a detailed manner. And that time also I was telling that this is a frequently occurring question. They will ask anything. In this question you can see that they have given defined is associated with which level, level 0, level 1, level 3, or level 4. They can create a lot of questions related to this. They can ask manage is related to which level, initial is related to which level, repeatable is related to which level, defined is related to which level, optimize is related to which level. So in this question, what they have asked is defined is related to which level. So level 3 is associated with defined. So the correct answer is level 3. And in that video, I told if you want to have a practical, if you want to see the practical example of this, what are, level 1, level 2. So these all are the maturity model. By looking into this, we can, have an idea of particular organize. We used to define CMM. We want to give CMM level to any organization or any company. Okay, like I already told, like TCS, Infosys, these all are CMM 5 level company, because they are dealing with all the level. They are doing initial, repeatable, define, and manage. They are up to CMM 5 level capability they can create. So CMM basically we used to assign to different organization, and by looking into the CMM model we can have an idea. Okay, this company is up to level 3 or level 4 or level 5, and based on that they are doing providing their services to their customers. So that is basically a practical scenario. But what you have to learn for the examination point of view is just go through all these points. You have to remember it. As I told, here you have to remember a lot, because see, you know about CMM level, but if you don't know what is level 3, basically you can't answer this question. And those who have better remembering capacity, like if they remember level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, then they can easily, okay, level 3 is defined level, so this is the correct answer. Okay, so again I'm telling you, that's why I've written again. If you are not having time to watch that video, just mug all those level here only. That's why I have mentioned all the level 5 details in this question. Okay, again black box testing is done. Next question is, black box testing is done, there are four options. And before discussing this question, again I am telling you, you can, in Central Bank of India examination, I'm telling you guys, you can expect one question from black box, whiteboard, white box, or one question from testing. Definitely I'm telling you guys. So those we have already covered black box, white box, gray box testing in a detailed manner. So those who are watching this video for the first time, again I am telling you, you have still 2 days. Just go and watch those videos related to software engineering in my playlist, so that you can have a better understanding and a quick revision related to all these testing techniques. So let's discuss this. What is black box testing? Again I am telling you, black box testing, they have given four options to show that software is operational at its interfaces, input and output, to examine the internal detail of code at client location, and fourth is none. So let's discuss one by one option. And those who are watching this video for the first time, I also wanted to give a brief thing related to this question so that you can have also better understanding. Okay. So the first option is black box testing. First of all, I just wanted to know black box testing is nothing if we don't know about the internal structure. We just wanted to deal with the input and output. We just wanted to test the outer structure, okay, of the system. Then we have to do the black box testing. If you are dealing only with input and output, the interfaces part, if you will come across this word, this is words are very important. If interface are mentioned, if input and output is mentioned, it means it's a black box test. White box testing, to perform the white box testing, you should have the knowledge of internal parts, internal coding structure, internal algorithm. So let's see, the second question is, second option is to examine the internal detail of the code. No, this is a white box testing. If you want to examine the internal functionality, internal coding techniques and internal algorithm, then it will be a white box testing. At client location, as I already told, if I am doing any testing at the client location, this is known as alpha testing. Okay, so these all are the, see this, they have given three options, but through the three option you can understand three testing technique. If you want to deal with input and output, if you just wanted to you don't know the internal structure, you wanted to just observe the outer structure, that is black box testing. If you want to examine the internal detail, this is white box testing. If you want to do any testing at the client location, this is alpha testing. Okay, so that type of things you have to remember it. And the three most important point I have explicitly mentioned for you guys, and better, and you know there is a lot of chances are there to come into this examination. Like black box testing is also known as functional testing. They have already been asked many a times. Like black box testing is also known as functional testing, behavioral testing, boundary value analysis, equivalence partition. Whenever you will see all these wordings, you have to mark the answer as a black box testing. Okay, so these three important terminology is very much important for your upcoming examination. It's related to the black box testing. Black box testing is also known as functional testing, behavioral testing, boundary value analysis, and equivalence partition. Again, I'm telling you, please note it down, because you will see definitely they will ask like boundary value analysis is done for which testing. If you don't know, you will not mark this answer as a black box testing. Okay, so I hope now you will have a better understanding in these two questions. Since, as I told, we have to cover a concepts as well. Not only the answer is important, the concepts are also important. So let's move to the next slide. So the next slide is again related to the database. Basically, as a simple term is there, but a very important term. Many a times, granularity has been asked in many competitive examination. What is granularity? So first of all, you have to understand what is granularity. Okay, so let's discuss the four options: the size of database, the size of data item, the size of record, and the size of file. So the correct answer is granularity is nothing but it is the size of data item. The size of data item is known as granularity. It is not the size of database, it is not the size of record, and it is not the size of file. It is the size of data item. So that you have to remember it. Okay. Now the next question is, this is very, 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 very important question. And one more, I am telling you one question you can expect from OOPS concept, object oriented programming language. OOPS concept, you can expect one question definitely. I know we have not covered still object-oriented programming, but we have covered in one video. I remember when we were discussing about the State Bank of India recently held examination, where I have given some inputs around 5 to 10 minutes later to the OOPS concept. So don't worry about that. In a short way, we will learn each and everything. So the question is, the mechanism that binds code and data together and keep them secure from outside world is known as what? Encapsulation. So you have to understand that there are four basic things involved in the OOPS concept: object oriented programming. Okay, so the four important terminology is abstraction, inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism. So let's discuss in a very small, short way, because the time is not allowing us to discuss in a, elaborate these all these terms. So let's first discuss what is inheritance basically. So writing a new class by using an existing class. Suppose I have a class. For example, let's take a practical example. Suppose let's the class is Samsung S7 is any class is there. Okay, and there are a lot of features involved in this class. And now what I am doing is I am creating a new class on the basis of existing class, a new feature I am to add. And this class, and what is the the main property of inheritance is the new class will contain all the property of class, the parent class, and some extra property will also be there. So suppose I am creating Samsung, S10, basically a new model. So what will happen is it will have all the functionality which was in S7 plus some special functionality will be there. Okay, so that is related to the inheritance. Writing a new class by using the existing class is nothing but inheritance. Hope you have now you have a small, I think, a little bit of clarity related to the inheritance. Abstraction is what? Hiding the implementation detail from the user. Suppose you are the user, I am the designer, I am the architect, okay, and I am, I'm the designer of iPhone 11 basically. Okay, suppose I am a designer of iPhone 11. You are the customer. So I'm not going to disclose all the coding and the script that I have written to develop this code, because that is unnecessary stuff for you. You are not bother about what are the steps involved in creating the iPhone. You are just bothered about the features. What are the features in that? What are the applications involved, supported in iPhone 11? What are the camera quality? What are the different sound and the screen functionality of this iPhone? You are not bothered about the coding that has been used by the developer to create the iPhone 11. So abstraction is what is important for a particular member, that we have to only show that, and all the things we have to hide it. So that is the practical example of abstraction. That's why I have given the practical example so that you have a better understanding. And what is polymorphism? When an apparent class is used to refer a child class object. Okay, if you want to refer the child class object, the apparent class is used for that. This is nothing but a polymorphism. Okay, so these again I am telling you four, this terminology, four concepts are very, very, very important concepts related to the OOPS concept. So here they have asked encapsulation, but you should know what is abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism as well. Okay, and don't worry about, we'll cover in a detailed manner, but here the time is not limited, it's just 2 days. So just go through these points only, these are more than sufficient. Okay, now the next question is Linux operating system, okay, uses what? Affinity scheduling, fair preemptive scheduling, handshaking, and highest penalty ratio next. So the correct answer you have to remember is Linux operating system uses fair preemptive scheduling. You have to remember that, fair preemptive scheduling. Okay, so I hope this question also give you a better understanding of a few areas of information technology. Let's move to the next question. And intentionally I have chosen this question so that you will have a quick revision that we have already covered all these things. Okay, and this is very important question related to information security, and we have already covered each and everything. Just for the revision purpose I have taken that. Okay, so you have to match that. Okay, so as we know that DES is a 56-bit key. Those who are watching this video for the first time, again I am telling you, watch my first video on information and security, where I have covered DES and AES in a detailed manner. So DES is a 56-bit, okay, AES is a 128-bit, and at least you should remember these points. If you are not having the time, just remember at least these points. Okay, RSA is nothing but a public key encryption, and SHA-1. In the last video, in the top 50 questions, we have already covered about SHA, secure hash algorithm, where we have already seen that SHA-1 is nothing but it's related to the message digest. So again, I'm telling you, just remember at least this point, and if you have a time, please go and watch that videos. Okay, in the last video, we have already covered SHA, DES, all those 2 points we have already covered in top 50 questions. Okay, which of the following concurrency protocol ensure both conflict, serializability, and freedom from deadlock? This is also a very important question from database management system, from locking techniques actually. So which concurrency protocol ensure both conflict, serializability, and freedom from deadlock? So timestamp ordering will give you both of the things, serializability and freedom from deadlock. Okay, so let's discuss what is all those things. So concurrency control technique based on timestamp ordering do not use log, and since timestamp locking ordering will not use the lock, hence deadlock cannot occur. Okay, deadlock will occur only if locking technique is used, but since the timestamp ordering is not using any locking technique, so deadlock cannot be occur. So that's why our correct answer is timestamp ordering. And two-phase locking, which is in short we used to sell 2PL, may be subjected to deadlock that result from mutual blocking of the two or more transactions. So what here we are doing, we are just locking all those things. So once we are doing the locking of mutual blocking of two or more transaction, definitely deadlock will happen. Okay, and in a short, we all know about the deadlock. Deadlock is nothing but if one resource is wanted another resource, and that is kept by that second resource, and the first resource wanted the second resource, and second resource want the first resource, such type of condition arises and deadlock will occur. Okay, so deadlock is an unwanted situation in two or more transactions are waiting indefinitely for one another to give the uplocks. Both are waiting for one another to just give their locks. Okay, so that is the condition of deadlock. So in a short and nutshell, what we have to remember, it's a very important question: which protocol, which concurrent, these all are concurrency protocol in database management system. If you study, you will find that there are few protocols related to the concurrency. So which protocol ensure both conflict, serializability, and freedom from deadlock? The correct answer is timestamp ordering. Okay, so hope, I think you will have now better understanding. Let's discuss this question, next question related to the programming. And that's why I've discussed this in a very detailed manner. This is very, very, very important question asked in so many times, and those who are watching, those who have been giving this IT officers examination, such type of examination from last 2 to 3 years, they can easily relate that this is very, very, very important questions related to the access modifier. There are basically three types of access modifier. We have private, protected, and public. Okay, private, protected, and public. So what is the question basically? Let's discuss the question first. So when the inheritance is private, okay, the private methods in base class are dash in the derived class. So don't worry about that. Those who are from EC branch or instrumentation branch, and those who have not covered yet till the programming language, don't worry about that. Now after watching this video, you will have better understanding what is public, protected, and private. That's for sure. Just concentrate it. So first of all, understand it. What is public, what is private, and what is protected? So I have written a very small and simple point that will give you a brief idea. So the private members must be accessed from the same class where it is declared. Okay. So private members must be accessed from the same class. You cannot access from the another class. Okay, private member cannot be accessed from outside the class, not even from the subclass. We will discuss what is class and what is subclass. Don't worry about that. Just go through these 2 points. First is private member must be accessed from the same class, and they cannot even access from the subclass. We cannot even access from the subclass. Which members? Private members. Okay, protected members can be accessed from the same class, subclass, and non-subclass with the same package. But the condition is all these classes should be in the same package. Package is important for the protected members. And public members can be accessed from anywhere. There is no restriction for the public members. If you want to access public variable, public method, anything, there is no any restriction for the public. But for private, there is one restriction. You can access only from the same class. You can't even access from the subclass. And protected, I think there is a in protected, what you have to understand it, you can access it. You can access from class, base class. You can access from subclass. You can access even from the non-class also. But the condition is it should be in the same package. Okay, so we have a package, there like jar file and all those things. These all are a packet, but the condition is that should be in the same package. Okay, so I will give you a clear understanding with the help of example. So suppose I have an example class yours truly z, my channel. I have created a class with the name yours truly z. Okay, and now let's allocate all these variable on the basis of accessor. So let's assume that variable a is a private. Okay, so int a is equal to 10. I have assigned the variable a, which is a private, to the value 10. int b, if nothing is there, it means public by default. So int b is 20. Okay. And the third is protected. I have given the variable c as a access variable access modifier protected and the value 30, and int d is public. Okay, 40. So now what will happen when we want to access those variable, and with this only you have better understanding what is public, what is protected, what is private. Okay, so again I'm telling you, a is private, b is public, c is protected, and d is public. Okay, now suppose I want to access, I have given a that's why I told you, if you want to create a subclass, this is the example of subclass. Class it officer is a subclass of yoast toolg. Yoast toolg is a base class that I have created first. This is the base class yoast toolg, and it officer is a subclass, and the way to write a subclass is class it officer, this is a subclass, extends, important word, yoast toolg. This is the way we can write the subclass. We have to write extends. Okay, so this is the subclass of base class yoast toolg. Okay, so that's why we have created a subclass here of the name it officer, and we have a base class of the name toolg. Okay, so what will happen is, see this, we want to access it, like yes, it's a statement in Java, like how to print that. So that's why I just written SOP. So just don't get confused what is SOP, and if you want to just print any variable, it's we have to write SOP. Okay, so it's a short form. So see this, what are the variable I can able to access that. Okay, so first, this is the a is what, private. So as I told, private cannot be accessed even from the subclass. So this is the subclass, I cannot access private member. B is what? If I have not written anything, it means public. So I can access B. C is what? Protected. I can access C because this is in the same package, and this is the subclass. So I can access C. And anyways, D is a public, so public can be accessed from anywhere. So I think now you will have a better understanding. Private class can only be accessed in the same class. I can access A only in this class, yoast toolg only. I can access the variable A only in yoast toolg class. I can't even access from the subclass of yoast toolg. That's why if I want to print A, I cannot get, I can't access the A. B is public. If I have not written anything, it means it's a public by default. So I can access B, no doubt. I can access C because it's a protected, and protected can be accessed in the subclass. IT officer is the subclass of yoast toolg. Yes, I can access C. I can access D very well because it's a public. Public can be accessed from anywhere. So I hope this is very, 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 very important question. You have to remember all these points. Write it down. Try to remember that. Try to. That's why I have written in a very simple language what is private member, what is protected member, and what is public members. Okay. So I think there is not much time for me here to discuss more questions. Again, I am telling you, and I am telling you, this IT officer examinations are very golden opportunity for you guys. And the most important thing, what happening nowadays in IT officer examination is, you will get a lot of opportunity. 2 3 years back, what was happening is like, the majority of the seats have been declared by the IBPS IT officer examination. But now the condition is different. Every bank is releasing a separate examination related to IT officer. So you will get a multiple opportunity for that. In the last 3 years, you can see, you can observe, like you got so many vacancies. One is from Central Bank of India, one is from State Bank of India, one is from IT officer itself. Then we have now Bank of Maharashtra released. So that is the best opportunity. I think now it's a good thing also. Everything has a boon and a ban. The best thing nowadays, what is happening with the IT examination, specialist officer examination especially, is like every bank is releasing their IT officer examination separately. So don't stop the preparation. I'm telling you guys, don't stop the preparation. You will get a lot of opportunity. 2 3 years back, what was happening is, if you will miss the IT officer examination, then you have to wait for next 1 year. But here the condition is totally changed. In every 2 months, you will see on an average of one examination, definitely. So continue, start your preparation. Okay, we will continue to upload such type of video. Please subscribe my channel, share with your friend, and all the very best for your Central Bank of India examination. Just go and give your best. Thanks for watching my video. Thank you again.